Hey guys, so here bringing you another video. Now, welcome to kind of a League discussion video. There may be League of Legends footage on the screen right now if I have any to spare. But we used to kind of do these more original League discussions quite a few years ago. We kind of stopped doing them. Maybe we'll bring them back. If you like the idea of bringing them back, then please do throw a like on the video. But basically what this is this isn't attached to like a dev blog that we do now. This is just we pick a topic and talk about it for a good 20 minutes or so. And the topic that we're going to be talking about today is something that a lot of us have even spoken about recently, and it's negativity about League of Legends. So the reason why I'm doing this, maybe not a massive surprise, but of me recording this last week, I admit I was in a bit of a grumpy mood, partially because I was quite ill, and whenever you're ill, you're a bit more irritable than normal. And obviously some of my tones had a bit more of a negative twang than I normally do. But I do admit I do have a somewhat, every now and then, a negative tone towards the League of Legends development anyway. And that's kind of what I want to talk about, is why do a lot of people have a more negative mindset about League? And I also am going to be talking about something that I am hopeful for in the near future, and where even someone like me that I've been a bit disappointed with League's direction in the last couple of years, how it does seem to be shifting. How that might change in the very near future. Because there is something on the horizon that I'm sure some of you know, but it is happening. It's been confirmed it's happening. We don't know to what extent yet, but I will get into that soon. But before anything, I will just say I did a poll. I did two polls, one on my Twitter and then one on the YouTube community tab. And basically, it was what is your mindset about League of Legends development in the recent years? And there was three options. There is positive. You have a positive mindset about League's development. You have a negative mindset, or you have a neutral mindset. So just to go over the results, I might bring them up on the screen of me recording this. It might be a bit more whenever this video comes out. But basically, about 3,000 people have voted on the community one. On me recording this is 2.9. And it's 14% have a positive mindset, which is quite low. 46% has a negative mindset and 40% has a neutral. And then the one on Twitter, just about 1,000 people voted on that one, and it's 20.9% positive, 39% negative, and 40% neutral. So again, it is not positive is basically the way of it. And that is why straight away League of Legends as a tone for a lot of people is not positive. It is either negative or neutral. It's very rarely positive. And if you're new to the game, you might not really get why, but just to kind of go over why do people have a more negative mindset towards League. And again, I love the video game. I don't have a negative tone towards the League of Legends. It's more the development. Whenever you hear me a bit negative about the game, it's usually directed about a couple of things within the game. The actual game I still love. I wouldn't, trust me, like, even though I love my job, etc., if I was hating League of Legends, I would not be doing this for a job still. I wouldn't. Like, I'll be completely honest with you. I still like the game, though, so I am still doing it for my job because I do like the game, even though that sometimes that might be a bit surprising. So just to say, the negativity towards the game. So in the last couple of years, we're going to kind of go over a list of why. And I think some of you will have... some people will be negative about some of these things, and some people will be negative about none of them. Like, you'll vary a bit. So the first one is broken MMR in solo queue. So in the last couple years, Riot has made mistakes, and they have admitted sometimes that they have done a lot of weird stuff with the MMR. You know, it was quite famous all the way back in season 9 that they legitimately messed that up badly. That you could basically climb with a mid 30% win rate. There were gold players getting Diamond 1 on Master if you just played 200-300 games at the beginning of the season. That was quite a big deal. And obviously they did fix it a couple months into the season, but there was quite a lot of damage done that you are still feeling to this day. You know, the reason why you're still feeling it to this day is because if you're, again, not really a high diamond player or a diamond player, whatever, you can play certain types of champions and do okay. You know, if you jump on Yumi or something like that, you've got the rank by a mistake a couple of years ago. You know, when the ladder resets at the end of every single year, they're not the harshest thing in the world. So you can kind of maintain rank that you got from the mistake of Season 9. So that's one big reason, and I still hear people to this day complaining about that specifically. Obviously, the new items came out, and a lot of people are still not happy about them. A lot of people, I would say, including myself, I feel Riot had a shift of they have overvalued this, like the importance of items. Is the big one for me is you're giving champion level mechanics to items. I think that's really bad. And you could have the odd one if you want every now and then, but in a standard build, AD carries, just take that example, and a mobile AD carry now has Gale Force, so they now have mobility. They could buy a collector, so now they have an execute. Like, there's all these things, there's shields that come with items. There's so many champion level mechanics that are within items. Like, I know it might sound a bit boring, but I'd rather items more just to be stat sticks. And that's about it. To me, the important thing within League of Legends is the champions and your mechanics and your skill of your champion, rather than what your item can do. And I think a lot of people also agree with that. And obviously they have toned down the items compared to when they did first launch, but there are obviously still some big use cases that tend to be a problem. Going off the back of items was damage and healing. And I will say this is the thing that we'll talk about in a second, that where my mentality is even kind of like, ooh. So damage and healing in the last year or two have been ridiculously high, like stupid levels high. I've quoted it a few times, but there's no skill in how much damage there is in the game. When a assassin, and I know they're supposed to assassinate people, can do half of their combo practically and still one-shot you, there's a bit of a problem there. Or when a mage, and I'm a mage player, a mage doesn't have to hit their full combo and you're still getting one shot. Is a bit of a problem there, because there's no counterplay to that. Where's the counterplay to just being bam, you're dead? Like, there isn't, and it's too consistent. That's my thing. One shots should exist if you do everything perfectly, potentially, on a specific champion versus a specific champion. A hyper damage champion versus a squishy champion. If you play it perfectly, bam, they're one shot. But the problem in modern day League is you don't have to play it perfectly. You can play it at like 50% and you'll probably still one shot things. That's a big problem. And obviously that came off healing also being too strong too, that Riot have nerfed healing, but healing is still pretty high because, unsurprisingly, a lot of healing is going off percentage of your damage. So if the damage is still very, very high, your healing is also going to be high. But they have hurt healing a bit, but what we'll talk about more after I complete my list of the negative things, they are reducing damage. That has been confirmed. We don't right now know to what extent, but it has been confirmed, and it looks to be confirmed for patch 12.10. We've just had 12.8. 12.9 obviously will be in a week's time, and then 2 weeks after that roughly will be 12.10, the patch of less damage. I personally didn't think that they would do it this season. I thought they were going to save it for pre-season next. But this is all because of Riot Axes. The guy that took over, the lead gameplay, whatever the hell his title is, he's the reason why this is happening by the looks of it. And you still have people within Riot who think the damage is okay. We're about to talk about new champions as another negative thing, but whether you like him or not, his champions or not, Riot August, there was a clip I think on Twitch the other day or week or whatever that he said the damage is fine, and it's like, you are so out of tune with your own game. And that also leads into the next frustrating point, is modern champions. I think that's quite a big one. Like, whenever I talk to people on my Twitch stream, it is quite weirdly scary that I have a lot of audience now that do not play the game. And whenever I say to people like, oh, you still watch me, but you don't play the game, a big reason that I always see the same answer why people have stopped playing the game is new champions. They really dislike them. And I would also tend to agree. Don't get me wrong, the champions are really fun, and that's what they're designed to be. But it does seem that Riot has fully embraced the Certainly Team method of design of you only care about the player playing the champion, no one else. So it's really anti-fun to play against the new champions, but Riot doesn't care. And that's the thing, is Certainly T had that design philosophy, everybody knew about it, and he left and he's gone to go to the MMO team, and I think he'll actually do really good there. But then obviously Riot August took over to be the lead champion designer, so everything has to kind of go through him. And it seems he has fully embraced that whole philosophy, and he even thinks the damage is fine in the game when everybody else thinks it's a huge problem. So there just seems to be a bit of a desync between some of the design team in Riot and the players. And even Riot Axis is having disagreements by the looks of it within the Riot mainframe itself. So that kind of leads to problems, you know. And I think just what boils down to it in the last couple of years with new champions is they simply do too much. You know, it's that simple, is they do too much. They kind of, oh, the champion should have a knock up and a stun and a shield and does true damage and does magic damage, but it's an AD champion and it has two ultimates within one ability that's actually not his ultimate. Can you guess I'm talking about Yone mainly? It's like, there's too much. Why does this champion have 20 things it can do when another champion's got 10? Like, it's ridiculous, the difference. Or Viego, he can do crazy resets, and the whole vibe of Viego was, oh, you take over another champion and just become them. Nobody plays Viego that way. It's just about ulting as quick as you can when you take over another body. The whole philosophy of him becoming another champion is literally irrelevant. Those are the things that I think Riot is just not getting right. So I would say those are the main ones off the top of my head. There are other frustrations, obviously, that people are still frustrated with the toxicity levels of the game, the inting level of the game, that, you know, Riot still doesn't seem to take those quite seriously, or doesn't take them seriously enough. There have been calls of maybe the tribunal system should come back, and I would actually be kind of up for that. So I don't know. That's the thing, is when you kind of put all of that out there, that's a lot of negative things. And if you kind of go with the opposite of why these polls of what positive has come out of development in the last couple of years of League, you know, what actual positives, there's not many. That's the thing. We still love the video game. I still love the video game. But of recent years, you know, they even mucked up the new dragons. I didn't even include that. In the recent season, they released 2 dragons. One's kind of okay, and that's survived, is Hextech Dragon. Chem Dragon was awful. Everybody knew it was awful. I remember being in a design meeting, and the rioters were the only ones being positive about that, because they all are in like an echo chamber, and that's probably why they're all positive about the same things. Is everybody else in the meeting, I'm pretty sure every content creator was like, wait, what? Like, they're doing that? That doesn't seem good. That's the problem. Like, they keep doing things that are clearly not good, but they keep doing it anyway, which is why I would say, and it's something that I noticed in the recent couple dev blogs, the last 3 months worth of dev blogs, it's been noticeable that it's new people writing them. And some of them are even like, hey, I'm the new lead of this. Hey, I'm the new lead of champion. There are so many new people within the balance team, the development team within Riot. I literally think they must have fired or got rid of or moved a lot of people, because it's like, you guys are clearly getting it wrong. We're getting new blood in. That's what it seems to have happened. And it does seem the Riot Axis guy, I'd love to have a conversation with him, to be honest. He seems to be right on the money. He got into the job and his like, hello, I'm new as this job. I have worked within Riot, but I'm now in charge. His literal opening was, I think healing and damage is too high. And within the first 6 roughly months of him working there, he's already hit healing a little bit, but the healing goes off damage percentage a lot of the time. And we're now getting the actual damage nerf within the next couple weeks. Like, that's a pretty big deal. So honestly, really happy about that. And, you know, that's the funny thing, is when I said, what are the positives within development, you know, in the last couple of years, there's not really been any. We are now getting the positives, and the positives are them changing what they've done in the last couple of years. Like, that's literally it. We are being happy that they are stopping the crazy damage that was in the game. Damage creep was way too high. Some items are getting nerfed, unhealthy playstyles, for example. They are changing things now, but we've had a couple rough years. And obviously that, you know, yes, the damage going down will bring skill back to the game, which is fantastic. But, you know, will they change the direction of new champions? Are we still going to have crazy new champions that have every mechanic under the sun? Probably. Like, I still will never not get convinced. And, you know, I love League of Legends. I have many friends within Riot, and they're great people. I probably will never get convinced that Riot doesn't make these crazy champions on purpose to sell more, to make more money. Like, that has to be why. Like, there's no way a developer can sit down and kind of list every mechanic that a new champion has compared to champions 4 years ago and kind of think, this is okay. Like, there's no way. Like, it's impossible. But hey, a new champion that's got insane mechanics, or insane levels of mechanics, has basically every ability in the game, that's going to sell out and make a lot of money, right? Everybody's going to want to play that champion and rank to get LP. To me, that has to be it. It has to be. So I don't know. Like, I am hopeful about League of Legends because of Riot Axis. He seems to be the literally the guardian angel that we've literally needed in Riot for the last couple of years. But I'm still worried about some things. I'm still worried about new champions, that they tend to be on the unhealthy side. And even new champions that seem not to be great initially become really good a little bit after understanding, like Renata. She's getting nerfed. That champion's actually really strong. It just sometimes takes a little while for people to realize that. It's just the only champion of recent years, and, you know, I can't even remember when the champion came out, that's quite missed the mark, is Rel. And the only reason that Rel is not in every single game is because how strong her engage is. It's ridiculously strong. They've actually had to nerf her compared to the average engaged champion. It's like Rel does 0 damage, literally 0. If they gave her Leona level of damage, Rel would be probably picked every single game. But they can't. They cannot give her that level of damage because how good her engage is. Now here's the thing. With the damage nerf coming and tank meta potentially returning, Rel might become an absolute beast, because then your support isn't supposed to do any damage. Your support is supposed to be a tank. So Rel could make a huge comeback, and she's a modern champion. So I don't know, dude. I love League of Legends, but like me and like what these polls show, a lot of people have been a little bit negative about the direction of the game. But you know, maybe I should do a new poll. Is your mind frame, because I did see some people replying to it going, oh, I've had a negative mind frame for the last couple of years, but when I've heard about the damage nerf and Riot Axes doing what needs to be done, my mindset is shifting to be positive because of him. Let me know, is that happening to you? Are you now getting a more positive mindset because you're hearing about what Riot Axes is doing? That would also be quite interesting, because that's happening to me. That is definitely happening, which is good. I will also just kind of add one final thing. I'm not sure about you guys, and this might just be a personal thing for me. League of Legends nowadays, and it might just because of the damage and all of this stuff combined, it does seem to be gimmick playstyles in solo queue get rewarded way more now than they ever used to. I'm not big into gimmick playstyles, you guys know that. I'm an old school League of Legends player. I like when people are playing their champion in the role that they're designed to do, and it to be a fairly linear kind of thing. And I know some people that's boring, but that's the way I like to play the game. But you're getting all weird and wacky picks all over the place. And I know some people might like those type of things, but I know a lot of people don't too. And that tends to also be happening a lot more as well nowadays. Like, again, the prime example I could probably give right now, slight controversial, Singed Mid. I've had 2 Singed Mids recently, and I've never had them before. And it was like, what the hell is going on? And like, one did actually really good, one did pretty bad. But it's like, why are we getting Singed Mid? Like, that's a weird thing, right? But we are. But anyway, that is going to be it. The reason why I made this video, by the way, is for those that don't quite get the negative mindset of why people are negative. Like, it's not just me. Like, you know, Huzz, you have a slight negative mindset sometimes in your games, but that content creator does. That content creator does. My friends do. Why? I just thought I'd make this video just to explain why. There's been a lot of things within the last few years that are negative, and there hasn't been many positives. What I would actually challenge you in the comment section is not including the upcoming change that Riot Axes is doing, not including that, what positive has happened in development of League of Legends in the last couple of years. That's what I would challenge you. Let me know what that is, if there is any. Either way, that is going to be it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Again, just a nice discussion video. I like doing these. If you guys want me to do more of these more classic discussions, please do throw a like on the video. And the whole point, by the way, of a discussion video is you to discuss in the comment section. But as always, I like to think the HuzzyGames community as a whole is a overall positive, upbeat community, which is quite rare within League of Legends. So again, remember, you can discuss, but don't go too far. Don't insult people. Don't be really angry. Have a nice discussion. You know, disagree, agree, whatever you want, but have a nice discussion. But that's going to be it. If you guys enjoy, throw a like on it, throw a comment, throw a subscribe. See you guys next time. Goodbye.